Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. I've been a crafter for years and years, and I've picked up quite a few tips and tricks along the way. I've also learned a ton from being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I love to share all those with you. I've got some great tips today. Let's get started. I never would have thought of this color combination on my own. I never would have put an orange with a gray with like a pink cardstock. So this leads to my first tip. When figuring out what kind of card you want to make, get ideas off Pinterest or whatever. I use my catalog a ton. I just flip through and think, what catches my eye? This picture caught my eye because of the unusual color combination. So, and I don't have the stamp set, but I used what I had and came up with the card we're going to make today. But that is my first tip is figure out what is catching your eye. Is it the color combination? Is it the design of the card? Or is it the stamp set? And then go from there. Now, if you want a catalog, please reach out to me and let me know. I'd love to send you one. These two colors are the highlight of today's card, Calypso Coral and Smoky Slate on a petal pink cardstock. Now I'll have the list of all the supplies I've used, all the measurements and everything over on my website. There's a link in the description, or you can head over to sunnydaystamping.com and look up this project. So I've got my Calypso Coral all inked up on this stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in the center and a little above the middle of the card. And I'm using this Stampin' Pierce mat to just get a really good impression. Now, but without re-inking, I'm going to take this, I'm going to rotate it to the side and stamp again for this petal. Now, in order to do this one, we need to stamp this off. But what you're going to do is grab your other piece of scrap paper. Now you're going to ink your stamp up again because you want this to be full strength. And we're going to stamp on our scrap paper. This will eventually be cut out here. Now don't re-ink this, bring back your original image, and you're going to rotate your flowers to the right. Whoops. I line mine up kind of over where I stamped before, and then I'm going to go to the right and stamp again that half strength. Now I'm going to grab the leaves out of this stamp set and put it on my block, and we're going to ink this up with Smoky Slate. And I'm just going to follow the curve of this arch that I made and have the stem be in the middle notch of this dark flower and stamp. So some of the leaves are over and some of them are down here. Now I'm going to change this stamp out. I'm going to wipe it off first on my Simply Chamois, put it back in and grab the other leaf going the other way. Ink this up with Smoky Slate. And do the same thing, mirror image on this side. There, now we've got a nice arch. So now I'm going to put this back and we're going to, sorry, my mind's going a mile a minute and I'm not explaining myself well. I'm going to put my stamp back and then we're going to cut out this image here. And I don't have a die for this. They actually don't have a die that coordinates with this, but you can just use your scissors and cut around it. There we go. That just takes a couple seconds to do. Now you're going to grab your gray and you're going to attach this with some glue. Again, I've got all the measurements on my website, so don't worry. I make my projects really easy to copy on purpose. So I'm going to line this up so that it's equidistant on these three sides, but a little thicker at the bottom, and just press it down. Now we'll take this and adhere it to our petal pink cardstock. I gotta say, Stampin' Up's cardstock, it is so nice and thick. When you send it to someone, you can with confidence know that it feels like a nice quality card, not those thin ones that you can buy. Okay, again, I'm going to line this up equidistant on the three sides, leaving it kind of off center there. I might bring that down a skosh. There we go, and press it flat. Now you're going to take your cutout piece and these Stampin' Dimensionals. This is the tip I learned this week from my team lead. She showed me how to do this and I love it, where you actually cut an image, cut the same image out and pop it up, and then you place it directly over the stamped image, and it just really makes it pop up and look so, so cool. All right, now let's do this piece here. So I'm going to use this sentiment, but you could pick something else. I mean, just really the sky's the limit there. And I did mine in Calypso Coral. Now I'm going to use a die to cut this out. But if you don't have it, don't feel like you can't make this card. Go ahead and cut it out in a little square. So after you run it through your cut and emboss machine, you can see the die cuts that out with just a perfectly sharp edge. And this is the Stitched So Sweetly die, so it looks like it's sewn around the edges. This set of dies comes with a bunch of different shapes like this, and then also rectangles, which, I mean, you can use those all the time. So now we're just going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Dimensionals are just a thick kind of foam adhesive that makes things just be raised up. So I want this to be just a little, I want it hanging off of here and in the gray part and coming up around here. Ooh, I probably should have put one more dimensional. When you do that, when you attach that, put one under here so it doesn't bend. Okay, so this card is almost done. Now, I just wanted to add one more thing. I mean, it looks great like this, but just for one extra little fancy thing, I'm going to use these Artistry in Bloom sequins. They have adhesive on the back so that you just peel them off and stick them. And so this is the other thing I learned. When you're putting on embellishments like this, always do three or more, and probably an odd number, but 3 makes it just very interesting, and you kind of, it just always makes like a triangle like this. Love it. Love it, love it. Now you can be done, or we can decorate the inside. I'll show you how I decorated mine. So this is what I did on the inside of the card. Same colors, same in symmetry stamp set, and I've got some tips on how to make this little tulip, a 3-headed tulip, which doesn't exist, but it'd be pretty cool if it did. Okay, so I'm going to ink up this flower in the Calypso Coral, and I'm going to have it kind of tilted here. Then we're going to, don't re-ink it, and I'm going to put it off to the side, tilting the other way, and I want it coming off my paper like that. Now we're going to do one more that is half strength, so I'm going to want to stamp off on my paper to get it that right shade, and I'm just going to tilt that one down. So let me clean this off. When I clean off my stamps, I like to stamp as much excess off on my scrap paper, wipe it with my Simply Chamois, and then put it right back so I don't lose it. Now these stamps come with, it's just very obvious where this goes, and so you can quickly see if you have all your stamps. I just love that. Now you're going to grab this one stem here and ink that up in gray. And I've got a tip for using this little stamp. Now, don't just stamp it straight. You're going to rock it. So you're going to nestle in that notch into the notch of the flower, and then just tip it all the way down. And you can actually kind of rotate it so that it's curved and going all the way down. You know, I didn't do a very good job with spacing out those flowers because now my stems are so darn close, but that's okay. So now I'm going to put this stem notch into this orange flower, just the tip, and lay it down just enough to come into that stem. I didn't want to put it all the way down. And the next one. Yeah, I'm going to have to redo that. That really bugs me. So, but you can see my example that you have them just kind of bifurcating like how a regular flower would go, and you're going to stamp one more gray leaf. All right, I'm going to stamp that again, and thankfully there are 2 sides to every paper, so just I'm going to flip my paper over, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done. Okay, I'm just about to put my last stem on here, and I wanted to show you another tip. You know, you can move your stamps, especially ones that are straight like this. You can curve them on your block so that, whoop, that popped right off. And then I keep getting the ink off. Stay. All right, so then you can, this is such a perfect technique for laying down stems because you can make them curved. All right, that looks so much better. Now, I really don't like how my stem is light and this kind of came in dark. So I am going to put my leaf right there and cover up that mistake. So one other tip when you're laying down a stem, don't lay all 3 of those stems down in the same place because your stem is going to get really dark and really thick. So try to stop laying down your stem right where it bifurcates. All right, let's stick this in our card on the inside. This just gives us a place to write. Whoa, I'm putting way too much glue. Don't copy me. Light on the glue, light on the glue. All right. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Now you can stop here or you can decorate your envelope. Let me show you how to do that. When I'm decorating my envelopes, I like to tie in a little bit of what I've used on the card onto the envelope. So I'm going to use that big flower, but I'm going to use it differently. I'm just going to put it in the corner like this. Now there's this sweetest little heart, and I am going to just kind of do a couple hearts going up the side here. I think I'll do well, I guess we'll just alternate all the way up into the address. Isn't that cute? Okay, and then we'll put a couple hearts on the back here. Look at that gorgeous set. Wouldn't anyone just love this little note of encouragement? I love it. I hope I was able to give you a couple tips maybe that you didn't know yet. If this stuff really interests you, I would love to have you join me as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You get access to so many neat trainings, and you can do, you can be just for you, or you can share it with other people like I'm doing. It is totally up to you. If you're interested at all, please reach out to me, or you can check my website for more details. Thank you so much for watching today. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment or shoot me an email at julie@sunnydaystamping.com. I hope you have a sunny day.